and let it begin. Alright, so, hello everybody. I am here with Simon, Harlan, Infernal, and Sudz. Sam can't do Thursdays, which is today, so unfortunately he can't make today's session. In future we'll be going back to Sundays as usual, hopefully, provided nothing comes up. So yeah, back to Sundays hopefully, and then we'll have Sam back in our sessions, and we'll have our mind-screwing magician or mystic, whatever. All the same. Yes, of course. So, a few announcements I want to say. First of all, unfortunately, episode 7 got corrupted, so there won't be any on the YouTube or the Twitch broadcast side, which is a shame, but it happens. Hopefully it won't happen with this episode. It didn't happen with episode 8, so it should be okay. And also thank you to Zenosa for the art, and thank you to Tabletop Audio for the audio side of things. But yeah, unless anybody else has anything else they want to say. Okay. So, if everything is okay on the sound side, and also Infernal says he's lagging hard, so I'm going to quickly delete a few things. There you go, Infernal, should be better. Is it better? Okay. Is it bearable, or do you want me to delete some more? There you go. Yeah. I deleted the last bit for you, just so that way you can do it. I can drag the bits in later. Don't worry about it. Yeah, that's fine. Is everything okay? Make sure before we get started here that all the sound's all good. I'm going to quickly turn back on the everything else just to make sure that it's there. Yeah, better turn Crab back up now that things are getting a bit more quieter. Oh, we were in town, weren't we? Is that how you feel about the song? It's the best song. Is it just that song that you turned it off for? Oh my goodness, that's... Yeah, that is. Oh, okay. Dog was barking. Alright, so... Hello, Simon. Sudz. Infernal. Harlan. Okay. Hopefully that should be okay. I need to reorganize these. I'll do that later. Yeah, I'll do that later. For now, I'll just do this. Alright. You can't hear anyone. Well, that's not good. Sudz? Oh, it's not picking up on my desktop audio. Why? No, they can't. Hold on. They can't hear us. That's peculiar. Doesn't that... That's strange. If I play this, does it pick that up? Okay, so it picks that up, so it's trying to... Oh, okay. I don't know how to solve this. Yeah, I don't know what's happened. I kind of need to... Default properties for desktop audio. That one. Ah, there we go. I fixed it.
Yay.
I realised what happens. I'd accidentally changed the properties to... Yeah, I realised what I'd done. I screwed up some of the properties. Alright, so, let's try that again. Sudz.
Hello.
Simon.
Hello.
Infernal.
Hello.
And Harlan.
Hello.
Alright, good. I don't know what was going on there, but...
Technical difficulties, by the way.
Yeah. Yeah. I think I think I know what happened in the properties and stuff. It had set it to default, but my default is set to is like tabletop and the sound pad. So, but you go straight through to speakers, so you don't hear yourselves over and over again through CrabBot. All right, all the volumes are good. Excellent. Thank you very much. And other than that, everybody make sure that you have your pens and papers ready. You have your character sheets open, and that you also have Steam chat open for the eventuality where I need to message you. So, other than that, I think I will go ahead and begin. So, last session, our party of adventurers, Sasha, Queglod, Elsyan, Bhold, and Malcom, made their way out of the ruins of Fort Verdant, and back towards the road that led them towards the Wandering Forest. Led them through the Wandering Forest. On the way, the party was ambushed by a pack of spiders that consisted of 4 larger spiders and 8 spiderlings, and imposed a seemingly large threat. Unable to contain them, some of the stragglers of the fight ran north, parallel to the side of the road, seemingly back to their nest. Upon reaching the road, Queglod, Sasha, Elsyan, and Bhold each had a vision or a flashback of travelling on the road towards the City of Adamanthia. In this vision, they saw a patch of darkness or nothingness, believing it was a person. Upon returning to the town of Oaksmith, the party arranged for the transport back to the city using a circle of teleportation, prepared by Suhaba, an enchanter who they got to know relatively well, before taking to their beds for the night. So, where we left off, Behold and Malcom, you two were both at Suhaba's tower. Malcom, you had just sold your spider poison glands to him. And
can I sell mine too?
Hmm?
Can I sell mine too?
Yeah, if you want to. I believe it was 20 gold pieces per, or was it 15? I think it was 15. It was 15, I think.
Yeah, it was 15, depending on the quality.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
I have one good venom sac.
You have one good venom sac. Okay.
And 2 mandibles.
As you're in there currently watching this, so I was like, yes, these are pretty good. These are pretty good poison sacs. I can make use of these in my alchemy. Do you have anything, Behold?
Oh, yes. I give him the venom sacs and the mandibles.
The venom sacs I can work with. The mandibles, not so much. You might be able to get something out of them if you talk to the blacksmith lady. I'm sure you've met her or seen her about.
Mm-hmm. How much is one venom sac?
15 gold pieces. Or 3 apples.
Oh, okay. I give him the venom sac.
He gives you 15 gold pieces.
Yeah, the Behold has no clue how much that is, so...
Just put it in your inventory. Just puts it in his bag with the rest of the heads that are just in there. For some inconspicuous reason.
Right, I struggled to add 15 to 555.
Good job. Alright, so. Back out on the street, Elsyan and Queglod are out and about buying themselves some food, and Sasha was just coming out of the tavern after looking at the notice board. Around before you, Sasha, you can see that you can see Queglod and Elsyan currently browsing a few of the tables. Elsyan seems to have purchased some elven flatbread for some rations. And Queglod, what do you get in particular?
In particular, probably.
Or do you get a variety?
Like vegetables or salad that would keep for a while. Stuff like that doesn't normally keep that long, I don't think.
Yeah, you find what look to be a like some form of like a pouch of nuts and berries. And you also find what look to be some root vegetables, ones that they'll last for the better part of a week, maybe 10 days at a stretch. but other than that, you haven't really got too much that'll keep too long. The nuts will keep for quite a while, as long as they don't go bad. So you've got 10
Yeah,
rations
I'll
of
have to-
those. You can decide how you want to split those up. Elsyan turns back to you, and Sasha, you see that Elsyan and Queglod are just finishing up what they're doing. At this point, it's getting close to 8 o'clock. So at any point, if you guys want to wait just to get to 10 when the circle of teleportation will be made. Up to you.
God. Can I like go say hi to Queglod and Elsyan?
Yeah? Don't see why not.
Hello.
You walk up to them in the street, say hello.
Ah, Sasha, there you are.
Ah,
I believe
Sasha.
we've just concluded.
Ah, excellent. No, I'm trying to work out what to do with all this spider silk and venom sac and spider's legs I've got. Because, I mean, what are you supposed to do with those, really? Like, I kind of don't want to sell them, but I can't think of anything useful to do with them.
Yes. Well, I'm not sure I know any recreational uses for venom.
I mean,
I doubt
other
it would
than the
work well in
obvious one.
alcohol.
Aye.
And I can't imagine a cleric having much use for poison.
Well, you say that. Let's be honest here. I'm not exactly the most peaceful cleric, considering I literally golf club swung a spider into pieces.
Golf? What is that?
It's a dwarven game. How to explain it? Hit ball very hard, aim for small hole.
I see. Well, in any case, if you think you may have use for it, I'm sure there'll be some sort of alchemist around who can help you distill the venom if it's still good in the sack.
I imagine our sorcerer friend will be able to. Sorcerer? What is he? A wizard? Our magical buddy would be able to help us out.
Yes, he's the person I would ask first for advice.
Yes.
If he can't do it, I'm sure he'll know someone who can.
Yes, that seems very fair. Elsyan, how's your what was it? Farnsworth?
Yes? What of him?
Is he well?
Of course he's well. He's always well.
Just wanted to make sure. Obviously, we can't perceive him, so, it's important to make sure that every member of our party is doing well.
Well, it's good to see you're finally acknowledging his existence. Farnsworth? Make a note of this. And from Elsyan's point of view, Farnsworth is standing there, just pulls out a quill and paper and just starts
Right.
writing it down.
Yes. Well, we've got another couple of hours before the circle is complete. Any suggestions?
Well, we could leave immediately. Didn't we say that that he wasn't to start until 10?
O's. I'm just wondering if there's anything else we need to do here.
Well, that's up to you. I don't have anything else I want to get.
I don't believe we have any business, so unless you've any shopping to do.
Not really. Oh, by the way, I checked out the notice board, and there's been a few disappearances up to the. I want to say it was like the northern farms or something.
Yes, the northern farms just past the. Well, no, the eastern farms just below the City of Adamanthia.
Yes. There's a few just below the City of Adamanthia, in the eastern farms just below the City of Adamanthia. So, well, if we're heading to Adamanthia anyway, I thought maybe we could do that once if we have any spare time after dealing with our more pressing matters.
The prospect of spare time seems unlikely at the moment, but I suppose if we get a moment, we can help out.
Right.
I'm surprised
then.
the guard hasn't been tightened up down there since the attack. It's a wonder
I
we
mean-
managed to get away with it.
I mean, I'd imagine all of the guarding was mainly done in Adamanthia, and places that are outside are suffering a tad for it.
Yeah,
Well,
if you were to look at the destinations of each, City of Oaksmith is here. There's the road that leads to City of Adamanthia, which is here, and it's suggested that the farms are about here. So they're quite a way away, maybe a day's walk.
Okay.
So as much as the guard can get involved, it's a matter of the distance. Is it worth it? And maybe they are getting involved, maybe they're not. Who knows?
Well then, to Suhaba, I think I'm saying that right.
Suhaba. Yes.
Suhaba.
Yeah, I suppose there's no point in wasting at the moment.
After you, Queglod.
Very well then. Right. Yeah, I'm just gonna head over to the tower then.
Okay. You all make your way over to the tower. You make your way in. You see that inside you can see Malcom and Bhold currently standing there. They were selling a few things. Malcom, Bhold, were you still in the tower at this point, or were you going to?
Yeah, I'm just sitting down in the tower.
I was gonna stand outside.
Okay, so you see Malcom, who's currently standing outside. Who's just arms crossed, leaning against the edge of the tower, seemingly waiting for you guys.
Hi, friend.
Hey guys. You guys finished doing what you're doing out there?
Yep, although,
Yes, we're finished with that.
well, for the most part. I can't work out. What does one do with spider's silk? About 8 or so spider's legs. And a venom sac. Like, I feel I could make some sort of art project, but I don't think it would be too pretty.
Not sure about the legs and stuff, but I sold mine to Suhaba and he said something about doing something with alchemy or something, so.
Oh, he dabbles in alchemy. Maybe he can help me, oh, of course he does. Maybe he can help me, what's the word I'm looking for? Maybe he can help me either distill some proper venom or start me on the right tracks to...
It's worth a shot asking.
Yes. Right, we were planning to head off soon, though, so, I'll try not to be too long.
Okay.
I'm just going. Sasha's just going to like sashay his way in their way inside.
Okay.
Be like,
As you head in, you can see Bhold is currently clutched to a wooden chair, which is floating maybe like 15 feet off the ground and upside down. And he's like clutched to it, completely out of the zone at this point. Bhold, how would you say that you are at the moment? Are you enjoying it? Are you scared?
I have no clue what's happening. My brain can't handle this.
Yeah. Your brain can't handle the fact that you are currently upside down and floating 15 foot in the air and you aren't falling. Sasha, is there anything I can do for you?
Well, yes, actually. Now, so you dabble in alchemy, yes?
Of course.
Well, I have the spider silk, a venom sac, and a large number of spiders' legs. Now, I want to do something useful with them, but I can't for the life of me think of what to do.
Well, I can take the poison sacks off of your persons, and I can use them in some form of alchemy, or I can use them as just trade currency, and some people might find more of an interest in them. I can, well, of potions that I know, I can distill it down to be a stronger form of poison, allowing you to apply it to a weapon and allow it to be a lot stronger at what it does. I'd need maybe 4, maybe even 5 venom sacks for that sort of thing.
It's probably not worth it with the one that I only have one at the moment.
Yes. If you were able to acquire 10, I might be able to enchant a blade with the poison effect. We'd have to see. It would be an experiment, but I could certainly try.
Always good to experiment.
Yes. Other than that, I could, with 2, I'd probably have enough poison to be able to make a poison resistance potion. It would last 10 minutes, but it would give you resistance to poison.
Well, I think in that case I'll sell the one I have, lest it go bad in the interim. But if I manage to get a hold of a few more, I might take you up on the idea of some of those ideas.
Excellent.
Any ideas what to do with the spider silk though?
Spider silk, I can probably enchant it into something. Not entirely sure. And as you go to pull the spider silk out, I assume you put it on a stick or something.
I think I put it in a jar.
Yes, you put yours in a jar because yours was more mushy and liquid versus Queglod's, which was more stringy. Well, with its current consistency, I could probably apply it to a weapon, allowing it to stick to something. Maybe even you. Maybe give it a bit more of a firm grip.
I feel like that could have very hilarious but very bad downsides.
It could have many uses. You could maybe it wouldn't lose its grip if you attached it to something. Who knows? Maybe if you stab it into something, it can't pull it out. Who knows? Could be useful in a dagger, in any form of arrows. That could be quite useful there. Other than that, I could probably try and see if I could get some of my contacts. Actually, you might be able to find them yourselves. There are a few people in Adamanthia in the Phoenix who might be able to help, weaving some form of spider silk robe of some kind, imbuing it with the spider's magic.
That could be quite useful, actually.
Maybe some forms of gloves or boots.
Yes.
Who knows?
How long do you think it will keep? Do you think?
Spider silk? Well, its stickiness is usually dependent on its environment.
It's in a sealed jar.
It shouldn't go off anytime soon. You're looking at maybe a 1-year expiry date. You're looking at you're looking at the tin of beans which you've left in the back of your cupboard for the last 7 years. You open it and it's still fine.
Yeah. Okay.
Because the best before is in a year's time.
All right. In that case, I shall have a hang onto it. But yes, I'm gonna just hand over the venom sack. Keep that as a gift.
Thank you. Did you want to be paid for it, or?
Nope, gift.
Okay, I'll see what I can do with it.
You're helping us out. It's the least I can do.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Can I jump down from the chair?
Yeah, go ahead and make an acrobatics check.
Jump down from the anti-grav.
What's your acrobatics?
2.
Okay. As you push off of the chair to kind of go to try and get back to the ground, you slowly float down, and as you go to swing yourself over and land on your feet, you catch something and you begin to float away, spiraling up and towards another one of the walls, going up now.
Oh no, what's happening? Help!
How far above the ground is he?
At this point, he's maybe 10 feet up. He made his way down, but then he hit something and is now floating upwards.
Okay. Are you okay up there, Bhold?
No, I need help.
Elsyan, help him down.
Do I have to? I'll
I'm
take
not
that as a
tall
yes.
enough, am I?
What would you like me to try and do? Jump and catch him? I can't jump 10 feet.
I mean, you have your spear still, don't you?
You want me to impale him?
No,
Offer him the-
impaling.
Offer him the blunt end.
At this point, Elsyan's just like giving you like a quizzical look of why me.
All right. Okay. Queglod. You have a raven, yes?
Guys, I have an idea. Catch my axe and pull me.
Alright, who are you going to throw the axe at?
Alright, this is a random roll. Let's see.
Alright, no, we'll do a d4 because that makes more sense.
Okay. Give me a d4.
Alright, so we'll do it in order. 1 is Elsyan, 2 is Queglod, 3 is Sasha, 4 is Malcom. 4, Malcom.
Oh,
Malcom.
oh goodness.
Alright, make a strength check for me, please, to throw the weapon. 9? Okay.
15.
Oh, 50. Alright, okay.
God. I'm sorry, Malcolm, you're dead.
Malcom, I would like you to make a dexterity saving throw.
Oh goodness.
Because this does hit your AC. Oh no.
Oh goodness.
no.
Oh.
What's your dexterity saving throw number?
Is there any chance I could like try and get in there with my shield so that it doesn't actually hit him?
I will give you a single roll, and you have to get above a 15, no modifiers, to try and do this.
I'm sorry, Sudz.
Oh goodness.
Woo! As Bhold says this and just lobs the battle axe, and Malcom is just standing there, just like watching this take place. The axe gets closer to him. You see Malcolm's eyes just grow and grow with like the intense fear of this battle axe. Sasha walks in the way, raising her shield, and it hits and it kind of clanks against the shield and like begins to slowly drift, kind of on like a parallel to the ground, kind of on horizontal axis, and it's just slowly floating and spinning.
Pull me down.
If anyone would like to try and grab it.
Yeah, Sasha's just gonna like grab that and yank him down.
Okay, make a dexterity saving throw to get it.
Oh, this is very bad for me.
Or dexterity check, sorry, not saving throw.
Oh, a dexterity check. That's that is -1 from 8. 7.
Okay. That's still okay. The axe is moving very slowly. DC was 5.
Okay.
You grab the main handle of the battle axe, and the chain that's attached to it that links to Bhold, that's wrapped around Behold's arm. You just tug on it, and Bhold begins to drift towards you, ever so slowly, making his way towards the ground.
I tug it a little harder and then step out of the way.
Okay. Bhold, I'd like you to make an acrobatics check again, please.
Oh!
This time, the only thing that collides with you is the floor. And you take 1 point of bludgeoning damage. As Sasha, as you're close to getting there and you're preparing to land on your feet, she tugs, your arm is pulled forward, and kind of like a superhero like flight with your arms outstretched, you flail in the air and your face collides with the ground, coming to a skidding stop on the ground.
Oh, Behold, I'm so sorry. I did not mean to do that. My arm twitched.
Do I believe him?
Make an insight and deception check. So you're gonna make an insight check, Infernal. Yes.
Oh,
even
this
with the
is
My
modifiers.
side is 1, so 13.
Yeah. You know that it was intentional.
I am rolling an intimidation check.
You watch as Behold stands up about twice your height almost, and kind of like beefs up a bit, like flex, like trying not to show that he's flexing, but flexing nonetheless. And you feel a little bit intimidated, but not anything that's going to put you off.
No, I'll tell you exactly what I feel. I am going, oh, that's very impressive. Just, oh, look at those. Just sort of
It's an
bouncing on the
awe-inspiring intimidation. Yeah.
Yeah. Look, I'll be honest here. You threw a weapon at one of our allies. Don't do that.
But I just wanted to get down.
Okay. I was already working on it, buddy. Don't worry.
Queglod, as this is all happening, you can hear, muttering under his breath, Suhaba just going, you could have just asked me to come down. I mean, I have the ability to do so. It's my home.
Oh, yeah. Can I roll to hear that as well?
I'm going to say only Queglod hears it, because you're all currently having a discussion, and then there's Queglod who's currently just standing at the back.
Can I go to him and tell him that this rock that I found is magical?
Which one was that again?
The unrefined granite that I have in my inventory.
Oh, yes!
I believe it's a magical rock. So.
Yes, you do. I remember that now. Okay. You go up to Suhaba, and Suhaba's currently standing there, and he's currently going through the venom sacks. You can see that he's like putting them into a jar of some like kind of brownish liquid, which has got bubbles in it. It's transparent, but or translucent would be the proper word, I think. And it's kind of like a brown liquid, kind of like trying to think, kind of like how they depict something like Coca-Cola or Pepsi when it's been off for a while and things like cartoons and that. But yeah. And he's like putting them inside this this jar, and you can see there's a fizz as they enter, and they seem to get coated in some form of this liquid, and it forms like a membrane around it. And you walk up and you pull out your stone of granite.
Hello. I found this magic stone. It can make fire. I tried it myself, even though I have no magic. And it fire.
May I? And he puts out his hand.
Okay. I gave it to him.
Okay.
Is it bad I kind of want it to be magic so that Behold's like childlike wonder?
He looks over it, and you can see his eyes kind of glaze over, kind of like a whitey blue. Sasha, you know this is an identify spell.
Mm-hmm.
And he holds it to him, and he chuckles, and he looks at Behold, and is like, "Yes, what you found here is a stone of fire starting. If you smash it against another stone, you have a chance to start a fire."
Yes, it worked.
And he passes it back to you. The rest of you know this as a regular stone.
Yeah, I'm just gonna look over at Suhaba and like just mouth cute. Thank you.
I'm convinced it's magical. I'm trying to sell it to him.
Oh god.
Are you gonna? You want to sell it to him?
No.
Yes.
Would you like to buy my magic rock?
Well, seeing as this rock is part of a collection where you'd need 2 rocks to get it to work, both of which are stones of fire starting, which are, all in all, fairly common. I'd say I'd give it to you for about a silver piece.
I look at the rock, and I just like, okay, I guess that works.
Okay.
I give it to him shakily.
Yeah. He pulls out a silver piece, and he hands it to you, and then he takes the rock and he places it on top of a bunch of papers on the side of his table. Thank you.
Nice.
It will be very useful to me.
No problem. I can bring many more.
Oh no, it is fine. I'll be able to find the other part, and I will never be able to make use of more than one.
Okay. I walk to the rest of the group.
Okay. As you turn around, you see Suhaba's face just drops. Like, customer service is gone, he no longer needs to smile. And he just looks at you all, kind of like eyes rolling, kind of mouth part open. He's just like, oh, come on. Really? I'm a wizard. I don't deal with rocks.
Or with an intelligence of 6, I can't help it.
Well, would you, did you want to go now, or seeing as we're all here, or did you have other things to do around the town?
I believe the plan was to head off now.
Yes, unless anyone knows of anything else they need to be doing.
Excellent. And you see as he does this, he snaps his fingers, and you see 7 small candles like plummet down from above and like place themselves on the ground. 5 pieces of chalk pull themselves off of like various bookshelves and whiteboards and different boxes around the place. And you see it begin to draw a circle with what looks to be a 7-point star linking all of the candles together, before another smaller star is built on the inside of it, kind of so that each of the points of that 7-point star align with the original one. And you see as he begins to draw this, using some form of telekinesis to get the chalk to all move around, he pulls out a series of what look to be glittering stones, all of 5 different colours: blue, green, yellow, orange, and red. And he kind of scatters them on the circle, each of them finding a position. And okay, it is ready. If you wish to go through, I will complete the process.
I'll go along and do it.
Okay. As you walk over, he takes what looks to be a small pouch, pulls out what looks to be kind of like a small portion of sand, and he like holds it in his he clenches it in his fist, speaks a few words, covering his mouth as he does so, and then scatters the sand on the circle, and you see the circle immediately glow a vibrant shade of green and red, orange, yellow, and blue, and the colours seem to rotate around and through all of the chalk along the ground, and you see each of the 7 candles light themselves. If you would all like to go through, this will take you to the City of Adamanthia, to the main quarters of the signal room.
I guess I walk through first.
Okay. As you walk through, you're met by a flash of multicolored light, all shooting through your mind. And as you instinctively you close your eyes. And as you open your eyes again, you see before you a familiar room. You have seen this before. This is known as the signal room. It is a teleportation symbol, or teleportation glyph, that is made and in some form of like physical imbuement into the room. There are 2 others like it, and this is underground, that connects to the main portion of the courtyard of the Phoenix. As the rest of you all make your way through, stepping through one by one, you'll go through and appear in this room, and none of you seem to recognize this location of where you are. And shortly after, the portal that had appeared disappears and closes up.
Well, seems like we're back.
Yes, but where in the city are we? You said the signal room, but I don't know if I know this place.
We're right outside the main courtroom for the Phoenix. I remember this room now. Didn't really know what it was for till now, but
As you're all standing there in this stone room, which has a nice carved stone walls, you see that there's some form of like a mild dome to it, and the whole area has a set of like very distinct curves to it. And as you look ahead, you can see that there's a set of double wooden doors, and you watch as one of the doors, there's a slider on it, and you watch as the slider is pulled over, and you hear a voice from the other side say, "Who uses the symbols? State your purpose and your name."
Malcolm, I think this one's on you.
It's Malcom. We've come back from business sent by the Baroness and the High Marshal.
All right. And you see as the door is pulled open, you see a stout kind of dwarf individual, a little bit of a belly to him. He's got a full set of chain armor on, and he's got some form of like just a basic leather hat, which he wears. And you see him jump down from a stool and walk in and go, "Well, if you're all returning back, I would like to know who cast the symbol spell, obviously, regular protocol, and for you to all sign your name in the book." And he points to a book that hangs by a thread to the onto the edge of the wall, and there seems to be some form of quill and inkwell on a small desk.
Suhaba's the one that sent us through.
Suhaba! Been a while since I've seen him come through create such a symbol. Well, if you'd like to write your details over there, and I'll let you ride through. And he walks back to the door and stands at the door waiting for you all to sign. I assume you all make your way over?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
As you make your way over, you open up the book. You flick through the pages to the where there's a bookmark page, which is the most recent location where you can start writing down your details. It asks your name, where you've come from, who opened the portal, and what business you have returning. And you also look through this, and you can see that there are other names that you can see here. Some you recognize, some you don't. Some of the ones include people such as Gen. You can see that the Baroness is in here. That one catches your eye in particular, Malcolm. And other than that, you can see a few other people. Some of the people who you saw around town, you see a few of their names here and there. Passing names and that sort of thing are in here.
You already know my signature.
Yeah. As you all begin to write your names and you write where you've come from.
Can I write mine in Dwarvish just to be contrary?
Yeah, you write yours in Dwarvish. And the dwarf, who's currently standing at the doorway, he looks at you and he chuckles and he says, "It doesn't make a difference." And as you look back, the Dwarvish content seems to convert itself to common.
Oh, that is fancy. Okay. No. Wait. Can I write my name again?
You can try, but I wouldn't suggest it.
Oh, I wanted to try in Celestial, see what happened.
Go ahead.
Okay. I'm gonna write it, just like underneath my name. Alternatively, then in my name in Celestial, just to see what the fuck happens.
Yeah. As you dab the quill in the ink again, you go to write your name a second time. No ink comes off the quill.
Oh, I like this. This is fun. Well, you're doing a good job, Book and Quill. You're doing a good job.
We had a lot of trouble previously with a bunch of elves and dwarves coming through, and whoever we had on rota sometimes couldn't read the names, and we had some fraudsters coming in. We got rid of them, and then we enchanted the book and quill so that you can't write your name multiple times, and you can't write somebody else's name.
That's fair.
So there are no pseudonyms in the book, either, I assume.
If you mean code names, if you're known by that name and you've got yourself a higher rank within the Phoenix, you can bypass the enchantment.
I see.
I assume you're asking this because you
Yes,
don't know. Is this your first
Yes, of
time
course.
here, or...?
We are... Well, I am a relative newcomer, yes.
I see. Okay. Well, I guess that means you don't know about the enchantment on the... on your scarves, then.
Are those
What's
enchanted?
yours?
The scarves are... They're used for particular reasons. One, they mark us as the Phoenix, but a series of other scarves are sold on the surface. This is a good guise, because if ever someone were to be captured, it is about a 70% chance that they don't belong to the Phoenix. A large portion of the city wears these orange scarves. About 70% of those who do are common folk who wear it for fashion. The only ones who you'll see on the surface who really are those of the Phoenix are generally armed guards or us. And generally we keep to the shadows most of the time. And your ones have a basic enchantment so that people can tell, or the officials can tell if you're who you say you are. And the higher-ups have something which allows them to bypass some of the basic protection enchantments which protect certain areas of these halls. And ways of entry. Well, I see you've all written your name. And as he says this, he's watching Bhold, who's just grabbed the quill and is just like drawing like a happy Goliath with stick figure arm and legs, with a smiley face and an axe in one hand. And you can see him, and he's drawn what looks to be like holding what looks to be a series of heads in the other hand, which to you look like giant blown up fingers, but to Bhold, he knows that these are heads. And
Yes.
you watch Bhold as your signature, which has taken up 3 or 4 of these lines, converts into your name in Giant, which you can read, before going into Common, which you don't understand. And
This is sorcery.
and the book fills the rest in.
What an intelligent enchantment.
Sasha sneezes out of respect.
Sasha's just in the side watching this happen as Behold's just like shock runs through his body as what's happening? Where'd my pretty drawing go? And as you go to try and draw again, nothing comes out of the pen.
Where's my name?
The book has it in there already for you.
Yes, you don't need to worry. It's been converted into a different language.
Oh, okay. I no understand language. Me smart.
Yes, of course. Well, if you'd like to go through, and he gestures, and you will make your way through, I assume?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Returning back now, it's relatively early on in the morning, and you can see a large portion of individuals. There are a lot less than there were before, and you can watch as a large portion of individuals seem to be yawning, and quite a few people seem to be waving, and a lot of people seem to be heading off back towards where where people used to be more aimless, and people used to be moving around, picking up things in different stalls and so on. A large portion of people seem to be heading back out to where the bedrooms are in the barracks. And you gather from this that quite a lot of people here, they seem to work night shifts of sorts. whether it be guard duty, pickpocketing the unfortunate individual who's drunk on the corner of the street, or some other job that they need to get done. And you see that it seems to be emptying out quite a bit. A few of the stalls seem to be closing up, or they're already closed with the like leather top panel being pulled down, and quite a few individuals who have seemingly been working all day heading back to their rooms or their homes. The only ones which seem to really be open at this time is one that you've seen before, the gnomish individual who is currently moving around, currently carrying a large crate of ingredients. And with him, he seems to have a orc individual who's carrying 4 large crates of what look like leaves and other alchemical ingredients under his arms, and seem to just be carrying them to the crafting stations. You also see that over in the corner where you got your drinks before, the restaurant is still open. They seem to be open most of the time, and if not all the time. Other than that, straight away across from you, there seems to be the way you would go back to the barracks. To your right is the way leading to the tournament pits, and to your left is the strategy room or the war room. So, where would you like to go? The way back up to the surface is straight ahead and through the barracks.
What do you all think then? I'd say, unless anyone has any particular business to do here, it might be best to try and get in contact with the High Marshal as soon as possible.
Yeah, that's probably fair.
And on our way out, we can give this package to Gen.
That's true.
And
does anyone know where exactly in the city we might find him?
He would just be up on the way out.
Very well, let's go then. Unless there's any more business to be done in the Undercity.
Nothing really comes to mind, but
so, what are we doing?
I'm good.
Very well.
I guess we're going out.
Okay. So you head straight through the courtyard, make your way past the barracks. A large portion of people seem to be heading into the side alleys and or into the side areas and dropping off their bits and pieces and getting ready for sleep. And as you head through and you go up the set of stone stairs, you come to the same door again. This time it seems that there's a orc on your current side. He seems to currently be leaning on his axe just against the wall, and as you get closer he opens his left eye. Oh, wanting to go through.
Yeah, we have some business on the other side.
Alright. And he stands up, kind of elbows a portion of the wall, and then proceeds to pull the door open slowly. There you go. Through you go. You need to come back through, just knock 5 times. And seems to be rather tired at this time of the day. And goes to sitting back down. The door shifts closed behind you, and you are now in the Under Tavern. In the Under Tavern, you can see what looks to be a series of individuals, some wearing cloaks. Quite a few of them seem to be sat round with their hoods up, playing cards or throwing dice. It seems to be that quite a lot of individuals who are currently here seem to either be on guard duty or watching the entrance, or they're just having a leisurely time. You can see behind the bar is not Gen, another individual, the same half-orc female who you saw before, who was in the fighting pits, who's currently standing there with what looks to be a long sword, currently leaning up against the edge of the bar, and she seems to be cleaning out a glass with a bit of cloth.
I guess I walk up and ask if she knows where Gen is.
Okay. As you walk up, she notices your attention and says, "What can I get you, friend?"
Have you seen Gen anywhere?
Again, he's currently asleep, but he'll be up in 3 hours or so.
Okay. Let him know. When you see him, can you let him know that Malcolm's back and he's got something for him?
Can do. Yeah. It was Malcolm.
Yes. Malcolm has a package for. Actually, that sounds wrong. A delivery.
Okay. Good to know. Well, I'll pass it on.
Thank you.
And she goes back to bringing a glass and steps back and is currently just leaning up and sorts out a few things. You watch as one of the hooded figures who's currently looking over at you gets up and goes over to the bar and sits down, and she pours him some form of drink. Sasha, I'm going to say, give me a history check for.
Let me just check
yeah. No, give me a nature check for the alcohol. See if you recognize it.
Nature check. Okay, that's a wild one.
Well, it's the closest you got to using your wisdom for it.
20.
20 total.
Yep.
You recognize this? It's some form of basic cider that they make. It seems to be one of the more richer varieties, made by some people who used to be local around this particular area. As this was your final destination and areas you were going, you studied a little bit of the alcohol and come through passing on your journeys, and you found that the cider they make here is sweeter than most, a little bit more sugary and mild in terms of strength, but still a very nice cider.
Some good cider. Anyone wanna get some?
I'm good.
Oh, come on! I hear it's wonderful.
I oughtn't be drinking so early in the morning.
All right, later then.
Okay.
Very well, if you recommend it.
I imagine we should, if Gen's not going to wake up for a while, I suppose we head off to try and find the High Marshal.
Yes, chances are he'll be busy at the moment, but we can make it known that we're ready to see him. And perhaps arrange a meeting.
Queglod and Elsyan, you both notice this. Due to your passive perception, you notice that one of the individuals, as Sasha said, High Marshal, his head turns and looks at you very slowly, obviously trying to hide that he's listening in, and you catch him. He's listening in, alright. He needs to be sat there with a deck of cards and two other individuals who are sat around with him.
Okay, I'm going to just glance over at Elsyan.
Elsyan looks back.
Right, and I'll give him a like a nod. Just to try and confirm that he's also noticed this.
Yeah, he nods back, and you hear telepathically in your mind Elsyan saying, "You noticed this, all right? Maybe they'll want something with the High Marshal. Or at least his name carries weight down here."
Right, I'll think back. Can he? He can read minds, right? I'm
Anybody
not
who
actually sure.
he
that
can't
works.
read minds. Telepathy works differently, where he can talk to someone, and if they talk back, then he experiences it through telepathy rather than physically.
All right.
If they've got a high enough intelligence. Otherwise, he doesn't hear them speaking, and then he has to ask them to repeat themselves and has to go back to listening normally.
I find that offensive.
You have high enough intelligence.
But I do.
Yeah, you do. As long as you have higher than 5 intelligence, you can speak with telepathy.
Oh, I'm smart.
If your intelligence is above 2, you have a feasible brain to be affected by psionic abilities, and unless there are other circumstances which override that, such as immunity to psychic damage.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. People can receive telepathy, but they can't always send it. So, you can send telepathy because of your intelligence, but because if it was lower than your current, then you wouldn't be able to send it. You'd only be able to receive it.
Okay. Right. Well, I'll send him a message telepathically.
Okay.
Best get moving. I'll have Felipe keep an eye out just in case he follows us.
I'll do the same. Well, we best get going. We are still on a time limit. Let's head out.
Agreed. We've work to do.
And you all head. I assume you're all going now. Unless there's anything else you want to do. You head out of the. You head out through the fight pit. You can see that a few individuals seem to be sparring in the fight pit. One of them seems to be a muscly-looking human, and the other one seems to be a halfling individual who's running circles around the human individual and currently doing a few jabs here or there, and the human goes down to one knee at one point, and the halfling comes up behind and does a chop to the back of the neck, and the human just falls flat on the ground. And the halfling kind of looks up and kind of has a grin and kind of smiles, this really grim sideways smile towards Bhold.
Can I just go
Can I
high five.
intimidation him?
Short people represent.
Did you say that, Sasha? Or
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. At which point the halfling gives you a nod. Roll your intimidation check. I'm gonna roll one as well.
When you say intimidation check,
No, this is Infernal.
Oh.
And you what's your intimidation total?
+4, so it's 16.
16. Okay. You buff yourself up, and the halfling kind of snickers and just goes, "Heh. It'll be interesting taking you down," and kind of turns and climbs back up the ladder, and kind of nods as the medics jump down into the area. One of them administers a potion, and then they proceed to bandage up the wounds and pick him up and carry him out of the pit.
Right, you go. Time for me to fight. I whispered to Sasha, "Can you get me in a fight with him?"
All right.
If you come with us to do the martial thing, I'll get you in a fight with him after we're done.
Okay, I'm convinced.
At this point, you see the halfling. He's been thrown a towel, and he just puts it over his shoulder, and goes and sits down next to this wood elven female who seems to be sat there with what looks to be some form of a book. And she looks over at him, closes the book, puts the book in front of her mouth, and whispers something to him.
Right.
Before sitting back and opening the book
I know
again.
we're supposed to be Look, I know we're supposed to be heading up, but let me just set something up quickly, and I'm just gonna go over to those two and just sort of see about organizing shit.
Okay. You head over, and the halfling who's currently looking at you,
Hello.
who's currently watching, just goes, "All right."
Hello. I represent the large fellow over there, and well, after seeing you fight, he's rather interested in having a match against you. We're on business at the moment, but in a couple hours, I don't suppose there's any chance of booking in another fight.
Well, I might be able to. And at this point, the elf, she closes her books and taps him on the top of the head with the book, and says, "He's already got some prearranged fights, I'm afraid, and he can't cancel them."
Well, Ava, do you have any future dates where I could set an appointment?
She pulls out what looks to be a card from the inside of her. What looks to be, she wears some form of a dress with a simple coat, and over it she pulls out a card from the inside and tosses it to you. You easily catch it, and you hold it out in front, and it's got the name Tiny Scoff, the Halfling Magician.
Wait, magician?
Fair. When it says magician, is that as in an illusionist, or is that as in a sort of title thing? Well, yes, I got that much, but I don't know. Is that a title like the magician, or is it is he by day a magician? Does he do? I don't know.
You obviously don't know much about this, do you?
With
Anyone
you to
can
tell.
enter the pit and use their physical strength. Just no weapons allowed. You can use
I am
your
aware
mental
of this.
strength as well. Just so long as there's no healing involved.
Well, that's fair enough. So, is there any chance of organizing some sort of fight later on? Either when I say later on, I do not necessarily mean tonight. I'm just saying in the future.
Well, if you'll be about in, let's say, 8 hours, once the official bookings open, yes, I'm sure I can make a space. At this point, 2 other individuals are entering the pit. One seems to be a orc individual who's currently very buff, seems to have a good grip on his natural strength, and the other one seems to be a half orc individual who's basically the same. They just duke it out, punching each other in the face over and over, and having a general fist brawl.
Yes, I believe we should be free then, barring any unforeseen circumstances.
Excellent.
That would be excellent.
And at this point, she flicks her wrist and her fingers, and you see a pen just appear, like a quill, appear in her hand, and she seems to write something down in the book before twirling the quill, and it just disappears again. Excellent.
Right.
Thank you very much. Now, if you do excuse us, we have to prepare for the next match. And
Of course.
she
Have
stands
good
up,
luck.
and the halfling's currently sat there, and he's smiling at you, kind of like you're being shown up by an elf, really, of all things, and kind of stands up and follows her as they head back
Hey, look,
into the.
I don't have to be
into
good.
the
I
back
don't have to
tavern.
be fancy. I'm not saying this, but I don't gotta be fancy when I've got a big wall of meat to hit stuff for me.
Okay.
Since I just want to make that point clear.
Yes.
That showmanship don't mean shit.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Okay, so as you all make your way up to the top tavern, doors open to you, you all head out.
Right.
No one seems to be in the tavern up above. Seems to be completely deserted. Stools and tables and chairs. Sorry, are put on top of the tables. The barkeep who you saw before seems to not be around at all. It's just completely dead. completely silent.
Mm.
Other than that, as you all make your way out onto the street, first thing that immediately catches your attention is there's a lot of people out today. Seems to be a sunny day, and a lot of people seem to be moving around. Busier than usual, and you can see that the barricade that had been temporarily set up towards the High Chancellor's home and the economic district seems to have been removed. You can feel the presence of guards looking around. You can see that there's a lot more stationed around the city at this point. But otherwise, business seems to be going along as normal. The road seems to be opened up, and you get a sense that everything seems to be back in order. And you think that maybe it's a little bit too quick. People seem to be relaxed again. All of you get this feeling that it's too relaxed.
Anyone else a little bit, shall we say, suspicious?
It seems unnaturally calm. I think once we're done with our meeting, we ought to see if we can find anyone from the town. Figure out what's gone on since we've been absent.
Definitely.
Why we've recovered so quickly. Unless the High Marshal can tell us.
Oh, by the way, Infernal, we're penciled in for what time? What rough time would you say that we're penciled in for?
6 p.m.
We're penciled in for around apple plus 1 o'clock.
Oh. What time is it now?
2 apple o'clock.
Okay. That makes sense.
Yes.
Right, according to you, Inferno, who works on a more of a digital clock basis rather than 2 lots of 12 with AM and PM, to you, you've got another 19 hours till your next fight.
Oh no.
And in reality, it's 5?
In reality, it's 8.
6.
Because it is 6 p.m. in the evening and it's currently 10 a.m.
Okay.
Yeah.
Queglod, am I saying that right? Is apple is 5?
Apple is 5, although I'm not sure if it's a giant thing or just a thing from different parts of the world, but I believe certain cultures use different timekeeping conventions.
Oh, you mean the 24? Okay. What I meant to say was, it's now 2 apple. By the time the matches, it'll be 3 apple plus 3.
My brain is like,
Just make a general intelligence check, Bhold.
let's see, quick maths.
Nope.
5.
Oh.
You reply with a simple okay.
I know it's somewhere today. I have no clue when.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know
Okay.
it's someone today.
Yes. Yeah, it's understandable. We've been travelling a while. This sort of confusion has happened before.
All right. Let's get on with it.
Very well. As we head off, I'm going to send Felipe up into the air.
Okay.
Just keep an eye on what's happening on the street. Make sure we're not being followed.
Okay. As Felipe begins to fly up into the air, roll me a dexterity saving throw with Felipe.
Yeah, well,
As Felipe flies up, he stops, and you lose connection with Felipe. And Felipe begins to float back down again slowly, and you reconnect with Felipe. There seems to be something that's interrupting your connection with him about 65 foot above your heads.
Okay. Okay, I assume we're still walking at this time.
Yeah, you're still walking. You're making your way through the street. Fairly busy, as previously said, and the crowd seems to thicken in areas. There seems to be a large portion of kind of just idle individuals just standing around. A few of them wearing orange scarves, but otherwise not really too much that you notice. And you head through the streets. Begins to quieten down. There's a few less people as you get closer and closer to the fort, and you reach the fort, and do you recall Felipe to you?
Where is he currently?
He's currently flying about 50 foot above you.
Okay.
Unless you recalled him down to your staff.
I'm gonna have him. Yeah, I'm gonna recall him for now.
Okay. Felipe flies back down, lands on your shoulder and your staff.
Yeah.
And while you were walking, Felipe saw no people following you. There was no movement in the nearby streets. Felipe saw what you saw, which was a patrol of guards seemingly wandering around. And as you get closer to the fort, you saw this first as you were coming up to it. You see what looks to be this large automaton guardian kind of creation, about 12 foot tall. Currently like sat down on its backside with one knee up and the other one folded down underneath the other leg, and it seems to be kind of just sat there, and you watch as this singular kind of triangular eye with a think of it like there's a triangle with a circle inside of it, which is its like pupil almost, and you watch as it like follows you as you get closer to it, because it's sat next to the main fort entrance. At which point you're greeted by one of the guards there. We were told to expect you from Aleuir. Please, if you don't mind going in, and he proceeds to open the door for you, and the automaton just sits there and watches you enter, and then goes back to facing forward again. As you make your way in, stop me at any time, by the way. You walk into the main hall area of the fort. You see that there are a lot of individuals seem to be moving around. Some more people who look like they'd be sat like by a desk for the majority of their time, filing paperwork and dealing with city complaints and all that sort of thing. And they're all rushing around. And as you make your way up the stairs, you see a series of like spherical, kind of spherical contraptions that are just floating in the air, with what looks to be like a propeller above them, and some kind of like crystal which follows you as you enter in, and it just seems to slowly float up and down, watching you as you make your way up the stairs in the main fort area. Remembering where you went.
I'm feeling a little bit weird having these things sort of hovering around us. What? Any idea what they are?
You can make a intelligence check if you would like. Anybody can, if they would like to.
Okay.
I'm going to say Elsyan can't, because he would never have encountered anything like this before.
Oh no.
Alright, Queglod. Being in your old state, you're not up with the times and down with the kids, so you aren't good with technology.
Yep.
But Bhold, you've seen these sorts of things before. They're machine things that float, and they've got pretty gems on them, and you kind of want one, but otherwise you don't know what it does.
I want to fight one.
It doesn't look strong enough. You could probably kill it by flicking it. Sasha, you've seen these before. You know what they are. They are dwarven created sentries. The thing outside was an automaton, something which has been created previously, mainly made by the Rustbeard family, and these the spherical mechanical creations that are floating are the same. They are made by Rustbeards and imbued with a core that allows them to observe an area. And these things can move at remarkable speeds, and they're generally used for defense observation or covert operations to scout out an area from above. Malcom, you know this as well, except you've seen them around the city. Every now and then when there'd be a commotion or the High Templar had to be called upon, you saw a lot of these drone things floating around the city. And you've only ever seen the automaton outside twice, and that was just now and the time before when you saw it outside the High Marshal's home when the area was, or High Chancellor's home, when it was blocked off.
Looks like the Rustbeards have been busy then.
Looks like it.
So, as you proceed,
creepy, aren't they? Sorry.
we're all ready?
Yep.
Okay, cool. As you all continue heading through the area, you head through a series of the corridors, through the hallway with the series of archway windows. It gets a little bit cold. And you head through. Some of the guards nod as you go past, and you continue making your way through. You eventually reach the main doorway that leads into the High Marshal's office. What would you like to do?
I'm going to knock on the door with my staff.
Okay. You proceed to knock on the door. Tap, tap, tap. You pause. There's seemingly no answer. What would you like to do?
I also knock on the door.
Okay. You knock on the door, and this time there's a sound from the inside where somebody walks up to the door, opens the door, and pokes their head out, and you see it's one of the regal guards of the High Marshal, and he says, "We'll be with you in just a second. Just hold on." And you wait 1-2 minutes. 2 minutes pass, and you're currently all standing there waiting for something to happen. A few guards pass by. One of them goes to grab your shoulder and ask what's going on. The other guard pulls them away and kind of seems to explain the situation to him.
Can I try and overhear that conversation? Because I'm a little confused.
Okay. Make a perception check.
Oh no.
Okay, 5.
It's an 8.
You go to try and listen in. Can't seem to hear anything from them. Seems to just be idle chatter from what you can hear of what little is said.
Well, that didn't help. So, what exactly are we gonna say? Because we're pretty sure we got the arsonist. Are we gonna say resisted arrest?
Well, we
Something
could.
to that sort. Besides, you have his cloak, and Malcom,
I have
you
his
still have the arm.
Yeah.
Good. You've not noticed anything about the arm, have you?
No, nothing's happened with it.
Okay, just know. Only because he was acting strange just before I finished him off.
Yeah, and I noticed it's not hot anymore.
It was a pretty amazing adventure.
Can I, like, smack him upside the head with the staff?
Yeah, go ahead. You're welcome to.
Yeah,
Give me a basic attack roll to be slapped up on the upside of the head.
Oh,
No.
You go to make an attack and you just hit the shoulder of Sasha's armor, and it seems to hurt your hand more than it hurts Sasha's.
Well, that wasn't productive at all.
Not even a little bit.
Okay. As you're all standing out there, the guard pokes his head out and says, "We're going to take a break there." All right. So
Okay.
that's what the guard says. All right. So we'll be back in about 5 minutes or so. All right, Simon. What do you want to listen to, seeing as you don't like the Drunken Sailor?
I don't mind. I'd probably put it on mute regardless. And put my own music on.
Oh, I see how it is.
Yeah.
It's gotta be the Rickroll.
Wait, which one?
Never gonna give you up. Never
No, I
gonna
don't have
let
that.
you down. Oh.
Alright, let's just go with... Why is it not playing?
Crabbot is dead.
No, Crabbot, don't die on me.
Right, hold on.
Wait.
I'm gonna get some water.
Oh, wait.
Yes, and I am going to go.
Ooh, something happened with that. That's broken. Hold on. Something happened. Strange. How about now? Okay. I'm gonna have to report that as a bug. Shame. I wanted to put that on. Why are some of these not playing? I have a bug on this one. Alright, let's change this back to this then. I actually have a lot of things that will work in here. So, let's put... Okay, that'll do. Alright, so, be back in about 5 minutes or so. Enjoy. Alright, so. I can hear you. And we'll get back. Welcome back, everybody. So. Unfortunately, Harlan has disappeared. I don't know where he went. He just said, "Oh, I'll quickly be right back," and it's been like, what, 10 minutes? About that, hasn't it been?
Oh no, is Sam killing him again?
Maybe.
He might have fell in the toilet and got flushed.
Oh no.
Oh, the classic.
Yep.
Yeah.
The classic, yeah, of
The
course.
classic slip into toilet and accidentally flush yourself. Classic
Happens all
mistake.
the time.
The
Hmm?
classic mistake.
Indeed.
Clarify.
Tell you what.
I in fact went to get food.
Ah, that explains
Ah.
it.
Oh, so you did.
Oh, that text I just
I
sent
was
to you.
hungry. Okay.
Alright, so. Let's get back into this, shall we? So.
Just saying, it's a chocolate orange.
Okay.
Um,
I had fudge on the break, it's fine.
Oh,
Um,
oh damn.
As you, as you're all standing there, the guard pokes his head out, shining gold-plated armor, looks out and says, "Okay, you can come in now." And he creaks open the door, and you look in, and you can see that there before you, squinting your eyes a little bit because you're going from a dark to a light place. There before you, you see the same figure as before. Aleuir is currently standing there, currently facing you all. And next to him seems to be a dwarven individual. What looks to be like a orangey red beard, almost rust-coloured. Has a singular monocle over his right eye. And it's got some form of like impressive blue crystal in it. And has straps going around his head, long bushy beard, a mat of hair that's currently pushed back, and seems to be wearing. Yes, I can hear as well. We're getting a little bit of feedback from you, Sudz. Just so you're aware. And he's going to leave and rejoin.
Cool.
Unless that's him dying. Not sure. Either way, and the oh, here we go. There we go. And the dwarven individual seems to be wearing what looks to be a basic studded leather armor, with a small hammer at his side and a shield on his back, along with what looks to be some form of like large pole arm strapped to his back, that has a large strap that just hangs from the front. One end of it looks to be adorned with some form of like dragon head, which opens up to the end. Harlan, I will let you do a history check here, and Bhold as well, actually.
Okay, interesting.
Interesting. Yeah, you don't know what this is. It looks pretty though.
Pretty.
And,
Oh no, he has no clue.
Yeah, neither of you know what this is. And he looks.
Do I recognize the dwarf though?
No. You recognise the colour of his beard though, and you can assume that he's a rust beard. Yes. Seems to have some form of an amulet hanging down in front of him. Seems to be a circle with a triangle in it. And he has these kind of medallion, gold and silver medallions that hang from his beard. And he looks over and says, "These are the ones, Aleuir! These are the ones which we're supposed to arrest!" And he looks over and Aleuir kind of like puts his hand out to quieten him. Says, "Welcome back, all of you." "What do you mean, welcome back?" "Aleuir, what do you mean, welcome back? Who are you all?"
Yes, I think an explanation maybe at hand.
"You're damn right one is. Start talking. You're the ones for the arson, aren't you?"
I'm gonna. No. We were framed for the arson. We found the real arsonist, dealt with him, and well, now we're back.
I see.
Quick question. Rustbeard, right?
Yes, Rustbeard. Why?
How's Sasson doing?
You think I know? He's all the way up in the north, probably dying. Drinking his life away.
It's hard to keep up with all the family. Well, just if you find out, tell him I said hi.
Well, I won't be speaking to him. Regardless, you're getting off of track. What are you all doing here?
Yes. So, to clarify, you've been told that we were the ones responsible for the arson.
I haven't been told. I saw. You're all there at the scene of the crime, standing before the building, watching it as it burst into flames. I have several eyewitnesses saying so.
To be fair, we did then also kill a fire element.
Well, that is true, but currently you're prime suspects.
Well, luckily we can help with that. Queglod, take it away.
Well, Malcolm, why don't you show them our results?
I guess at this point I take out the skeleton arm.
Okay. So you take out the skeleton arm, and you hold it out, and he looks at you and goes, "Is this some form of joke? Really?
No.
You could have plucked that off of any corpse."
True. But we have. This is all that remains of the arsonists after they tried to, well, murder us with a load of fire elementals. Now we have eyewitness accounts from the town of
Oaksmith.
Whereby this cloak, which I am currently wearing for safekeeping, was the one that was worn by the arsonists that we took off of this body. I really shouldn't have been wearing it, now that I think about it. You definitely knew that I didn't have it beforehand, as we were searched and taken note of when we first came through here. Anyway, we also found that we followed them to Fort Verdant, as you may be aware of. Fort Verdant, old dwarven fort.
Yes, I am aware.
Well, we followed him there, and it turns out it was an undead with strange red markings wrapping around his bones. Sort of swirly. How would you describe them, Queglod?
Swirly sounds good. They were
Yep.
enchanted in some way.
Yes. The creature burned whenever it was touched. As in, whoever was touching it felt like a hand was burning.
At this point, the dwarf turns back to Aleuir, who nods, and the dwarf turns back to you and looks up above you. Can you verify all this? And as you all look up, you see looming above you this massive creature. It currently, it's hanging on to the ceiling above, which is about 10 foot above you. It's a fairly tall ceiling. And you see this, large creature, shards of, bone and white flesh covering its body. You see this large, singular eye in the front of its head. No mouth, no nose, no ears. and these
Holy
large
fuck, mothering
and these
bugger of
large
shit, bastard balls,
spikes.
cocknoggler.
And you see these large spikes protruding from the top and the back of its head and neck, running all the way down its spine and its shoulders and where its back is. And you see as it crawls along the ceiling, it lets go, swings itself down, and with a thump, lands on the ground next to him. And you hear a voice say, "He is telling the truth."
What the shat bollocks?
I'd like everyone to roll an intelligence check.
Okay.
See
To
if
clarify,
it
all of that was in character. I did, in fact, just throw a
Pick it
crap
up,
ton
let
of
it go.
swears out.
Holy shit.
Alright. Behold, you have fought one of these before, and Sasha, you are very well aware of what this is. Malcom, what's your total intelligence from that? Is it 12, or have you got positive intelligence? Can't remember.
I got negative intelligence, -1.
You and Queglod both don't know what this is. Behold and Sasha, I'm going to quickly roll to make sure that, to see if Elsyan knows. Elsyan does not know with that. You know that this is an Ambiro. A large psionic creature, usually found in the wild and sometimes tamed. It's got a singular eye, and behold, you've previously fought one of these, and it killed 5 of your clansmen, and you still didn't kill it. These things are ferocious and extremely dangerous. They have some form of ability to predict the future, and with it they have the ability to move around and some form of foresight to move, just to dodge attacks and prevent themselves from being in harm's way. Sasha, you know Ambiro to be rare, extremely rare, and they generally have the natural ability to go invisible and find themselves lurking in caves for intruders, and they feed upon the minds of those who enter into their domain. For those who are interested, because I believe Sudz has never met an Ambiro before,
I have not.
I think this is probably the best way to show you what an Ambiro looks like.
Okay.
Forearms, spikes protruding from the back of its head, a singular eye, this one seemingly red, and with white flesh and like a bony exterior to it.
Okay.
Very large creature, and a very
Bigger than
dangerous
Behold.
one. Yeah, much bigger than Behold. Where Behold tops maybe 7-8 foot, you're looking at the Ambiro, which is maybe 14 foot in size, in height, when it's like, and has to hunch over to remain in the room.
Apologies for the swearing, but that's an Ambiro.
It is indeed.
What's the... What?
A few of them work in the servitude under the Emperor, and we've had contacts with them previously. They live here peacefully, and we do not disturb them, and in exchange they work for us. They simply require the sustenance of a thoughtful mind each day. You're aware that they don't eat the thoughtful minds, they just need to have an intellectual conversation with them. So an Ambiro can never survive on its own. And if you're noting this down, Malcom, it is spelt Ambero. So you're aware. Well, I think that clears it up.
So these Ambiro, then? Some sort of psychic creatures?
Indeed. Very dangerous. You don't want to get caught in a fight with one. These things are deadly at the best of times. And just pray that your one is,
I
at
can
the very
say
least,
that.
merciful.
It did not go well for us.
I think I know the point that Queglod is trying to reach. As you know, our memories have been tampered with in some way. Perchance this creature, this Ambiro here, could unlock it, or reveal it, or etc.
Is that a possibility?
Anything that is lost, I cannot access. You hear this echo through your mind at this point.
Right.
It was the same for Elsyan.
Question. You can verify, though, the strange figure we saw, or the strange darkness in our memories. Is there any way you could perhaps identify how our memories were tampered with?
Your memories have been removed by some magic far more dangerous than I cannot access or understand more than that.
Well, that's terrifying. Thank you for your help. Do you have a name, by the way?
I do not.
Well, if you ever want one or come up with one, give me a shout.
You watch as the dwarf looks over and says, "Well, looks like things are sorted out here. I'll leave you to your business, Aleuir, and it seems that we've caught this arsonist. May I take the arm?" And he reaches out a hand.
I give it to him.
Okay. He takes the arm and he puts it in a bag at his side, a rather small pouch about the size of your palm, generally, in like diameter and stuff. And he pulls it open. He just drops the arm in and it just disappears. You know this is a bag of holding.
To ensure you have all the information, undead, red markings, swirly around the bones, burnt whoever touched him, appeared to have been a cause to keep him alive, or, well, not dead, rather than resurrection. Said there were others, but who you should perhaps be aware of. I believe that's everything. Any other information he let slip?
We'll look into it, and it seems that you've got things covered. All the same, thank you for the heads up, Aleuir. And I believe that means we don't need to be on high alert anymore. I think we should, just in case. Things might get dangerous. If we drop the defenses now, things might get bad. We want to keep them up for the festival, after all. Of course. Alright, well, I'll see you all later. At which point he nods and the Ambero, goes behind him. And as you see it reaches the door, seemingly it shouldn't be able to go through, and you just watch as it, waves its hand and the door just warps into a large hole in the wall, which it just walks through casually, and the hallway seems to bend as it moves. And the door just, after it's disappeared, just slinks back into shape. Kind of like a rubber band.
Sir, Aleuir, if I can call you that.
Go ahead.
That was an Ambero. What the...
He explained it. Ambero are dangerous, but they work for the Emperor. And in Emperor's service, they can read minds.
How on earth did you manage to wrangle that? Who was even willing to make the offer? No offense to them, they're intelligent creatures, but they are terrifying.
That would be the princess. She may be young, but she has a way with nature.
Oh.
Isn't that lovely?
You know that the Empress, she's about 12 years old.
I smell pedophilia.
No.
No, not that way with nature, Infernal.
Well, good on her, but... I almost had a heart attack.
Understandable. But we needed to verify that you were speaking the truth when you came back.
Yes. Of course.
I suppose there are security benefits for creatures like that.
Oh, what? Oh, yes.
Actually, yes. Speaking of security,
Go
what
ahead.
was that? What should we call it? Structure outside the door. Automaton, maybe?
Ah,
It looks like some.
that was Regan Rustbeard's, the High Templar. The automaton itself is a worthy construct, to say the least. It itself would probably be able to challenge the Ambero to a fight. Win, I'd give it a 50-50.
It looks rather like an Ambero in some ways, I suppose. Similar size.
2 arms
Only
versus
one eye.
4, but...
Well, yes,
Okay, now I'm reconsidering challenging it to fight.
You saying that out loud, or is that just a side
I'm
note?
thinking that. Maybe I don't actually want to fight yet.
Well, regardless. Yes, the automaton is his own creation, and it is one of the greater constructs that protects the city. One of. And he turns and walks towards the window and just looks out across the vast landscape and the small portion of the city which then leads to the wall and outwards. In terms of the way the city's laid out, just so you actually get a view of this, assume it's spherical, but his fort is somewhere like here, so it's a little bit more like an egg shape. And you enter in from this side, and you head through, and the fort's up in the north, and right next to the northern entrance.
A recent addition to the defences as well. I understand. I hadn't seen it about before.
The automaton has been around. It only ever comes out when things get dire.
Yeah.
It is what cleaned up the remainder of the fire elementals. Well, I thank you all for coming back to me in swift time and clearing your name. I would like to have that coin back. Looking at you, Queglod.
Wait, we had a coin?
Yes, we had a coin. Right, I'll fish the coin out and hand it back to him.
Fish the coin out, pass it back to him. Well, thank you very much for your time. You are free to go, and I may have some work for you soon.
Thank you.
If you wish it.
Of course. Anything to help out the High Marshal. I mean, like, we're in your city. We're kind of obliged.
You don't have to. I'm not fussed. I can get somebody else to do it, but if you're looking for pay...
I do actually have a quick question though. You're aware of the disappearances to the farms to the south here, yes?
Recently, yes.
Where we may or may not be going to deal with that. I don't suppose you've info on what might be the cause.
We believed it to be connected to the attack recently, the one which you were accused of. We believed it to be connected to that, but seeing as more people have been going missing recently, we aren't sure. I sent some of my guard to look it over. They have yet to return. And I can't scry on them either.
Well, in that case, if there are no objections, we'll probably check it out soon enough.
Good.
So we'll keep you informed on that front. I suppose that's us done?
Indeed. You're free to go. Unless you have any more questions, of course. No?
Anyone else?
For now, I suppose our curiosity is satisfied. Although, I was wondering, you have other magical defenses about the city now, don't you?
We have activated some of the older ones, yes. You've noticed. I'm impressed.
something in the sky?
Indeed. It is a crystalline barrier, and it prevents all physical beings from passing through it, and it prevents magical transportation, to certain degrees. Felipe is a ethereal being when he wants to be, so he'd be able to pass through it.
Okay, but I'd lose connection to him.
But you lose connection due to the magical interruption, yeah.
Yeah.
And how long has this thing been up for?
We put it up just before you left. Or just after you left, sorry. And it will be up until just past the festival.
Okay, out of character. He knows about the Phoenix, right?
You don't know. You can draw conclusions if you wish.
Okay, I'm not going to get into this, but I am very curious as to... We teleported in here. That's a little bit worrying. Because... well, he said that it stops magical transportation.
Is there a problem?
He said at some degree, though.
True. No, nothing. Just...
I was wondering, it isn't entirely dome-shaped, is it? Or
no.
Entirely impenetrable, as after all, we were able to re-enter the town.
Indeed. There are entrances and exits which you can take. One of which I believe you're already aware of, nodding to your bandana, Sasha, which is your orange scarf. And looking around at all of you, sees that you're all currently wearing one. And he says, well, you're aware of how to get in, and the doorways are heavily protected. Any unauthorized entry and we'll know.
Okay, that's fair enough. So the whole Phoenix, you're good with that, right?
They protect our underground and we protect the overground.
Okay, good.
They must work in correspondence to each other to work properly.
We don't notice him wearing a bandana himself, do we?
Give me a perception check. Any of you can do it.
I feel like my luck's probably running a tad dry after that.
That is...
Alright, Malcolm, what's your...
+1.
13.
19 for me total.
I got 3.
What was that, 23?
It'd be 22.
22.
Yeah, +3.
You can... All of you... None of you notice this. Malcolm, you're more aware of where the officials generally place their... where they place theirs. And... you can't see an orange scarf on him. What you do notice is a black one, however, with a golden trim to it. And the only thing that signifies, if it is indeed true, is that he is one of the founders of the Phoenix. You know that there are 3 in total. 2 live in Adamanthia, and 1 lives in the capital.
Alright.
Well, I see you're all acquainted, and I assume that she's asking for a task to fulfill the information I pried from her. Brohal can be difficult.
The
gnome.
The Morbans. You know, in the sewers, we're gonna deal with them.
Ah, the Shadowfang. It'll be good to see them go. They have been a pain in our side for a long time.
Yes.
And in
It
fact, I
does-
think this works out quite well for you.
I mean, probably.
No.
There have been connections with those who have, like you, lost memories, and those who have been abducted by the Shadowfang.
Oh?
A few weeks after memories have been lost, they usually get abducted. As if the Morbin themselves can smell it out, as if this powerful magic draws them to you.
That could be
Very
why they
interesting.
attacked us.
Yes. To
Like-
be clear, have many other people been losing their memories?
A few. From what I've heard and what I've been managed to obtain from my connections and sources, I've heard word and seen individuals who have lost their memory. 8 in all. And they seem to have been popping up over the past about 2 weeks.
Hmm.
And are they seemingly random, or is there any trace of a connection?
The only connection that we have managed to acquire so far is that the individual who we're looking for has all manner of protections on them. We believe them to be humanoid, and everywhere they go they leave some form of a mark. Someone's mind has been forgotten, wiped. They look down an alleyway, they see someone, and they don't remember it. And we can't tell who that someone is. All we know is that the individual in question has been lurking around the city. We believe them to be dangerous and connected to the Shadowfang. Somehow.
Does their power affect amalgam creatures, ones created?
Such as?
Well, the sentries that are flying about.
I see what you mean, but unfortunately, they're slippery. We haven't managed to locate them yet.
Perhaps see if you can't find a way to make the sentries more stealthy.
They're stealthy enough as is. I assume you noticed the 2 on the way in?
Yes.
I guess you didn't notice the other 6 that were in the room as well.
To be fair, we weren't exactly looking, but I'm imagining they're hidden.
Yes. They themselves can use invisibility.
There must be some way to record this creature, find out what they are, but it's a little worrying.
Well, we'll search into it. Regardless, I think Brohal will want to speak with you.
Thank you for
Very
your help,
soon. Seeing as you're
Very
home
well, then.
anyway.
and thank you for, letting us clear our names.
My pleasure. And before you go, and he nods to Elsyan, can I speak with you a second? And Elsyan turns around and they wait for you all to leave. And do you guys stand by the door while they have their conversation, or?
I mean, yes.
Yeah, we'll stay.
Not like listening in, but like we are waiting for our friend.
Okay.
Yeah.
I say friend. Acquaintance. I say acquaintance.
You mean
Traveling
Elsyan?
companion.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll-
Okay. So you wait the best part of 4 or 5 minutes. Conversation doesn't seem to last too long. Basically like a catch up you would with your friend when you meet him in the supermarket. And they have their conversation. None of you can hear anything that's going on inside the room. And eventually the door opens and Elsyan walks out. And he says, "Well, we best be off then."
What? What exactly was that about?
He wanted a way to get in touch, if necessary. So we wanted to know where we might be going after this, and I told him our plans.
All right.
But we don't have any plans, so I just told him all that we know so far.
I mean, we're heading into the farm to the farms at least, and we're
Once we're
dealing
down in
with
the sewers.
and we're dealing with the rat folk.
Well. Okay. So, what are you doing?
What time of day is it?
Seeing as it takes you about an hour, half an hour, 3/4 of an hour walk from the main tavern to the fortress. 15-minute talk or so, and you've headed back through. I'd say you're looking at 1:30 midday-ish. If any of you would like to do anything in that time, or what your next plan is, anyway.
I say head back to the under tavern, try and find Gen. If we can't do that immediately, head to visit what's her face,
The Baroness.
Yes, that.
Okay. You make your way back to the tavern. Make your way in. Still fairly quiet. You knock on the door. Door's opened and you're allowed in. You head in. You can see fighting in the pit seems to be a Tiefling individual. None of you recognize the individual. It's not cannibal. And Tiefling individual seems to be fighting with some form of burly orc. And the Tiefling individual, from the glance and what you get, the Tiefling individual does some form of like a palm strike on the chest of the orc before you watch this explosion of flames engulf him, and he's pushed back against the wall, and he seems to be like quivering and shaking from the strike. And she takes a step back and does like a stance and stands there and watches him as he tries to get back up to his feet. You make your way through. You don't see anybody you recognize. You see a bunch of individuals currently sat around just seemingly watching the sparring take place. You head back into the under tavern, and you see Gen, who's currently leaning on the counter. He's got his greasy hair pushed back. His large apron on, covered with grease stains and that sort of thing, and he walks down the side of the tavern after getting up. Walks over and picks up what looks to be some form of a pan, and proceeds to pull it over and just admire the pan. And the individuals who are currently sat around. The individual who saw you earlier is gone. They don't seem to be there anymore. And a lot of the people seem to have either changed places or they've swapped out with others who are now sat there playing cards and with dice.
I guess I'm gonna walk up to Gen.
Okay. So you've returned, eh?
Indeed we have.
Good. Have you got my package?
Yeah, it's in here.
Yes.
And I reach into the bag and pull out the package.
He takes the package eagerly, and you see like flicks out a pocket knife and like makes a small incision in the side, lifts it up and takes like a deep inhale. That's the stuff. Alright.
I'm sorry, are we running drugs?
And he gives you a look and he says, well, what else would you be running? Sweets?
I don't
He
know what the package was.
And then he places it on, and then what he does is he like goes under the desk and he pulls out the bar, and he pulls out what seems to be a set of like basic scales. Well, not like the hanging scales, but like the ones which you put weights on the top and stuff. And he places the package on top gingerly, and then he places a series of weights on the side, and he says, "That's not bad. £1.50? Ooh, that's pretty good. Alright. Well, according to the price of this and the cut of the pay," he does some math in his head, and he's like, that would be about, say, 200 gold pieces for the transport of this.
That's very generous of you. We hadn't discussed a fee with Suhaba, but...
Ha! He won't discuss fees. He isn't a money man. He's a collector. I send him the money if he wants it. He gets the resources from the Phoenix, and then we simply just take the rest. That's how he works.
Well,
I mean, that's fair enough. It would have been nice to know he was smuggling drugs.
Well, you can't say it during rush hour, see? And last time I saw, there was a lot of people around. So, do you want your pay or not?
I mean, yes, but like...
Then don't complain.
Alright.
And he passes, and he like pulls out like a sack of like a small pouch of gold. And as you go to reach for it, Sasha, he passes it to Malcom. You distribute it.
Enough.
You're the one who needs to be thanked here. And he lets go of it, and it drops into your hand, and it weighs quite a bit. So you can add 200 gold to your inventory, or you can distribute it now. That's your choice.
We can give it all to Bhold.
Behold is your treasure.
he's got too many apples.
He has. He's got well over 100 at this point. Oh my goodness. Well, pleasure doing business with you. And if you wish to do it again, come back in about a month. And he smiles, and you can see like these yellowed teeth. Some of them are a bit darker in places than others, and there seems to be like one good tooth at the front, and you can tell it's fake. It's made of some form of like dried clay or ceramic.
A month. I see. That's how long it will take you. Very well then. We'll leave you to it, I suppose.
No problem. And then he like puts his thumb up, and you can see that the guy who's standing next to where you know the doorway is, he knocks 5 times and the door opens from the other side, and you see the orc friend there again, who's currently got his axe with him. He's like, "Welcome home," and he sits back down on the stool, waiting for you to go through.
Yeah, we'll head through then. Does he seem more alert at this point?
Does he?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
the same one from before, right?
Yeah, he seems more awake.
Cool.
And as you go by, he nods to you all, and then the door closes behind. As you're heading through, you can see that there are a few people who are getting up now. Obviously, the people who take guard duty at this sort of time. They're getting out of they're rolling out of their beds, pulling on their clothes and stuff. Some of them washing, and others doing whatever. Down the corridor, you hear a loud crash and a bang down one of the corridors, and you watch as this individual in cloaks and robes like rolls out of his room, and then just like this billowing red smoke just follows him out of the room. One of the nearby people who's on guard duty just rushes over, and you can see that it's caused quite a bit of commotion. Do you wish to continue?
Mm-hmm.
We should probably see if anyone needs any help there.
Yeah, that's what... I mean, yes, but first things first. Malcom, did you know what was in there?
No, I just usually do what they ask, and
I mean, that's fair enough. I'm just like, it would have been nice to know.
As long as it pays good, I'm fine doing whatever. So.
Fine doing it. I just like to know. It's like, what if we'd been searched? I would have been like, oh yes, that's fine, and then we would have been like, oh shit, we're drug runners.
Well, actually, you wouldn't have been found because it was in the satchel of warding, and nothing but Malcom knows that it's in there.
Exactly.
So even if they'd
forgotten that actually makes me feel a lot better about it.
even if they tried, they wouldn't know what's in there, and all it takes is a Malcom bluff check, and even they wouldn't be able to access what's in it. So
That's good. Okay, well, good thing we have Malcom and the satchel of meth protection.
I mean, he sniffed it, so it's more likely to be cocaine.
Yeah.
Probably more likely cocaine. I just didn't know that cocaine would normally do that to your teeth. I suppose that makes sense. Well, your nose that fucks up, isn't it?
I mean, it fucks up a lot of things.
we're in a fantasy world. Do you think it's as simple as meth and cocaine? We've already established there are more drugs after you guys are complying.
It's true. You did set up mistweed earlier.
Yeah, exactly. So there are many things
I
in
have
this.
a notebook. I could remember the names of obscure drugs.
I haven't. Yeah, that's the thing. Sam's just comprised a notebook of all the drugs that he knows about. It's like, alright, cool. Beat Mr. Drug Lord if you want. Go ahead, I don't mind. Anyway, so what are you guys doing?
Apparently becoming a drug lord.
Nah, not a drug lord.
You
Just
need
a drug
cane
runner.
and a hat.
I thought that was a pimp lord, but
and
no.
a guitar case as well.
oh yes.
Oh no.
Oh yes.
Oh no, Chris, you
Jennifer
know what's coming now.
returns!
No, not allowed. I'm holding Fermar hostage until he behaves.
No.
Yeah, you don't understand.
Yeah, for
I
context,
really don't.
Infernal and so no, you don't.
Infernal does. He was there.
Was he?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Wait,
he
what?
was. You killed him.
Oh, well.
Anyway, we're getting sidetracked. So, what are you
Yeah,
doing?
Infernal killed Jennifer?
Jennifer killed Infernal? What the?
No.
What?
No, Fermar did.
Oh, Faramite, yeah. I did. To be fair, that was more Matt than anything.
Yes, that's true. All right,
I like
so
how
what are you doing?
completely
Yeah, it's completely
confusing for
ruined it.
everyone.
All right, so so what are you doing? You going straight ahead, or are you going to investigate, or are you doing anything else? Interpretive dance. Who knows?
I feel as though we should just keep moving.
Yeah, well, Queglod is the leader of the party.
Am I?
You're the designated leader.
The rest of us are too fucking stupid to be leader, so
And
by
Elsyan's too
default,
smart.
you're it. Oh, yeah, well, Elsyan thinks too smart. Little whiny.
Does anybody else have any other opinions?
Okay, I suppose we're going to go see your boss then, Malcom.
Off we go then.
Okay. You make your way through the main hallway. You see a few other people walk back down the way you just came. A few turning round. You hear some raised voices where people seem to be shouting. You ignore it. You keep going through. You head into the main courtyard, and you walk. As you look around, you can see it's fairly empty. A few of the stalls have opened up again. But the main double doors on your right-hand side, you see that there are 3 guards currently standing there, as opposed to the normal 2. One of whom seems to be more regal in nature, a little bit more important than the others. You make your way over, following the main channels, and you you make your way over, and the guard there goes, "Hold on a second. What business have you got here?" He's a human individual, wearing some form of a a heavy kind of like plate helmet with like a half plate gladiator kind of style to him, with this like overcloak that seems to cover his shoulders and back, and he has a spear to one side, and in the other he has what looks to be like a barbed chain or wire that wraps around his hand and looks like he's got a bunch of scarring where it's like torn into his flesh.
Pleasant.
Returning from business from the Baroness.
Make a persuasion check.
Oh no.
Sure persuasion?
+2.
Okay. He looks at you and goes, And he, go check, he says to the one of the guards on his right. The guard goes in. A few moments later, pokes his head back out and goes, what did you say your name was?
Malcom.
Alright, he's in. And pulls open the door. And you watch as the regal guard just looks at you and kind of looks you up and down and takes a step aside as you all make your way in. Inside you see the same hallway the same hall as before, the war table in the centre. You can see that currently the Baroness is currently standing there again. She's currently looking over the table, but you don't see anybody else in sight.
Baroness, we have returned.
Welcome home. How did you go on your adventure?
Your information was good. We found the culprit.
My information? I had none. You'll have to thank Rohal for that.
Where is Rohal?
She is currently preparing, seeing as she heard of your arrival.
Makes sense.
But well, either way, we're done. We sorted that out. So now we can move on to our other. What word do we use? Task.
Obligation.
Yes, obligation. Obligation's good. You know, dealing with the Morbin.
Yes, I assume that's what Rohal has gone to prepare, as we had discussed this before.
Indeed. She, on note of your return, she prepared her higher-up individuals to start spreading the word. And people have been preparing since. We have had individuals getting set up for the ordeal of contesting the Morbin. And she looks back down at the table, and now you see this like network of tunnels and like and series of like small pins that have been placed into certain locations in the tunnelways. Each of the pins having a different color to them. There's a general sequence. There are some red, some yellow, and some orange. And you can see that there are green ones that are placed into places in the wall. You can see that there is a blue one all on its own on the far right-hand corner of the map from your current position. And you can see that there is a partially mapped out system for the what you can only assume is the Morbin nest. This is the battlefield which we will be fighting on.
I assume the blue one is us.
Indeed.
Where we're going to be attacking from.
Indeed. We have set up a illusory doorway for you. With it, you will be able to enter into their base in secret, while we divert them. You deal with the White Seer, and we do the rest.
Okay. I guess at this point I take out the bag that has the griffin statues in it and hand it to her.
Okay. Thank you. I see you did not forget.
No, they were very helpful.
I am glad to hear that. And she places them in a pocket to her side. And she says, "Could you excuse us for a moment?" And she begins to walk off away from the table from all of you. Are any of you doing anything, or is it just going to be Sudz?
I guess me?
If you're going off with her and she wants to come alone, I'll probably try and study the map a bit.
Okay. You proceed to study the map. It's... As you're just looking through all the ways and so on, you identify red being traps, yellow being barricades, and orange being ambushes, from what you can tell. It seems strategic. It's something which you're kind of used to, looking at maps that you've done in the past, while looking over what undead have taken in the past, and other individuals who are of chaotic background. And you can, looking through it, you can tell that there's a very sound strategy to all of this. This has been done once before, if not more. Off with Malcom. The Baroness turns to you and says, "Malcom, I have figured out what I can have you do for the favor."
What would that be?
The Queen's brother, Odorici. I need you to locate him for me.
Locate him?
Indeed. I have heard that he is south of here, within the Enchanted Forest, or the Enchanted Glade as some call it. That is what it has been recently cited.
I was planning on going through there anyway, so...
Then it works out perfectly for you. Although be warned, the Enchanted Glade is dangerous. People go in but never come out. Be prepared when you enter there. There is more than just wild animals in an enchanted forest like that.
Yes, ma'am.
She nods and slowly makes her way back to the table. Is there anything anyone else would like to do? I'll take that as a no.
Yeah, I've just been looking at the map probably for the whole time.
I'll tell you how you spell his name in a sec. You spell his name... It's up here for a sec. It is Odurichi. Also, you don't need to send me a PM for that. You can just send me the message. Or just ask.
Okay.
Don't worry about asking me for spelling like that. Just say. And you... As you're all standing around looking at this war map, you hear a voice from outside, and as someone enters through the door, and both doors are slammed open. Well, if it isn't my hunters, it seems you have returned. Shame you didn't notify me of your own accords, eh?
I guess we should have.
No matter. We knew you were here anyway. So, are you ready? Or do you need more time to prepare?
I mean, I'm good.
Well
Yes, I
then.
suppose if your plans are finished.
Indeed they are. So, here's what you must do. Memorize the way. It is fairly simple. The way we will let you leave, you will go straight ahead, and you will take your first right. It is simple. Left will lead you to the frontier, to the fight.
Okay, so we go right.
After that, you will find a symbol on the wall. You will see one of these symbols in not too long. There'll be an illusory door. So long as you are within 10 feet of each other, anyone who holds this stone will be able to see and walk through this door. Then she hands out what looks to be a blue kind of gem, no larger than a 10p piece. Seems to be in like a oval shape, not a perfect sphere. And as you look over it, it glimmers and shines, and you see the colour on it shift to a slight whitish before shifting back to blue. With this, you'll be able to see the doors and go through them. From there, that is down to you. We know that it goes through a storehouse, and then from there it leads into a main area. From there, we know no more. We will provide the distraction, you deal with the rest.
Okay.
As you wish, then. It seems a sound plan.
Excellent. And she nods her head and proceeds to make her way back, and you see that she calls someone over, and you can hear her from here as she's shouting to them. Let everyone know we're going to be leaving and dispatching soon. And the voice yells back, how long? And she says, give them 5 minutes to prepare. And she turns around and proceeds to make her way back towards you. Well, none of you said you weren't ready, so let's get on with it then. Follow me. And she proceeds to just walk away to a portion of the wall within the war room.
I guess I follow her.
Is everybody following?
I'm kind of just going along with it.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll follow along as well.
You'll follow along. You make your way. You're following her, and she. Who's currently got the waystone? Bhold, did you take the pretty blue stone?
No.
No. Alright, who wants the pretty blue stone?
Should probably be me or Malcom, I'd say.
I mean,
Yeah.
I can take it if needed, so.
Okay. You now have a waystone in your inventory. It will reveal It will reveal illusory doors to you. Don't know how to spell that. Just put illusion doors. There you go. I don't know how it's spelled either, so not off the top of my head. You see before you a strange symbol. None of you have ever seen anything like it. I'm just going to draw it out here real quick, just so you understand what it looks like. And that's the symbol that you see on the wall. In white against the stone, slightly faded in places, and as you hold the waystone and move forward, you watch as the symbol spins and opens up into a doorway. You can see that there is a blue-like texture to the hollowed out part. So just a blue hue all the way through, and there's a rough stone texture, and the rim of the doorway is pure white. And Rahal turns around to you and goes, "Well, you'll be able to see these doorways wherever they are. From there, that is up to you what you wish to do. So, when you are ready." Nodding towards the doorway.
Oh,
Yes.
I just remembered. We were said we would be good. We would be. How long do you think this will take?
If you all go well, you could be there and back in maybe 5-6 hours.
Well, I guess we better hurry up then. Let's go! And Sasha, just immediately starts moving forward.
Okay. Okay. As you all make your way through the door, you arrive on the other side. The other side is a rough stone area. Looks like it's a natural cavern with some form of symbol on the other side. You are walking for maybe 5-10 feet as you made your way through this hollowed out, illusory door, and you seem to be in a completely different part of the cavern. And you get the feeling that the distance of the doorways is different to the actual distance between the door connecting the two symbols together. Something's not quite right. So, from there, I think we will end the session there. So, next time we will pick up the rest of our adventuring crew will be making their way into the Morbin Nest. So, thank you for all those at home watching. If you're at home, might be at work, I don't know. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If you did, be sure to follow. And thank you very much. So, see you later.
Bye.
Bye.